And we're back to the big boss battle of my childhood. It is into China.
Now all of Mongolia is in the grasp of Genghis Khan. Beyond are two vast empires, China to the east and Persia to the west. Persia is the sensible choice of battle, since it separates us from the rich forage pastures in Europe. But first, Genghis Khan has another score to settle. After witnessing the power of our cavalry in action, the Chinese spoke of nothing but peace. They even promised support for our campaign westward. But now that we have turned away from China, they have decided not to deliver the men and arms they promised Genghis. It is time for another demonstration. Persia can wait as the horde wheels east once more, and we prepare to march into China, the largest, most advanced empire in the world.
Let's do this. Turning the game volume back down. Alright, conquer the Tongut, Xixia, Jin, and Song. Genghis Khan is restricted to a pop limit of 150. The Great Wall will give you trouble without siege equipment. Fortunately, you can capture some siege units northeast of it. Your initial base can defend you for a short time, but you will soon have to push into China to find resources. The Chinese factions will put aside their differences to fight a common enemy. You must wage war on all four at once, lest one of them gain the upper hand. Genghis Khan's horde has assembled to the north of China. The Qin live to the east in a large fortified city. They will train knights, Chukonu, and will also construct trebuchets. The Xixia will control the Great Wall of China. Their army consists of Chukonu, light cavalry, and onagers. The center of the map is controlled by the Tonguts, who will train crossbowmen, battering rams, and scorpions. And the Song are the weakest of your opponents. They only own insignificant estates to the southwest that are guarded by archery units. Camps of Chinese siege engineers are to the northwestern and northeastern regions of the map. This gives you a hint about the bombard cannons. We'll get to those. Anyway, we have to conquer all of China and are given 10 units. 6 cav archers and 4 light cav. This seems like a daunting task, and to childhood Ornlu and Ornlu's dad, it was. When I was like a little kid, maybe 7, 8, I tried to beat this with my dad because we couldn't beat it, and it took us 5 hours to beat. Like, we both remember it, like, just ingrained into our brains. Anyway, to get villagers, you need to come over here to the engineers. And to get over here to the engineers, you need to get this transport ship.
Mongols, run for your lives!
Yes, we're very scary. With our 10 units. Which, to be fair, these guys are not in a position to defend. Oh, cav archer accuracy. So, just trying to minimize damage we take. But that's their entire army. You can see these guys are not exactly scary. Song actually starts pretty much with standard map resources, like 3 villagers, a scout, and a town center.
We can establish a stronghold in China and construct powerful engines of destruction.
Okay, so now we have some villagers. We're going to send them back over to the transport ship. Because although these guys aren't on an island, the one crossing to get over back into Mongolia is guarded by a gate and tower, which is why we didn't go there in the first place. So we're going to send the ram over that way. But to expedite the process, we're going to send our villagers back. So you can just build a base right here in the remnants of the engineers' village. But I prefer to go back to Mongolia and start my base there. Takes a bit longer, but I think it's worth it, because you get more resources. And I like to construct my TC somewhere over there. And we'll just have the ram deal with this keep. All of our opponents are in Castle Age for right now, but they will all advance to Imperial Age. Although Song will take, like, forever to do it. They are definitely our weakest opponent. But yeah, this one's definitely it feels like the largest campaign in all of like the original Age of Kings, which I mean makes sense. It's you're conquering China. It is the intro thing said it. It's the largest, most advanced empire in the world at this time. Oh, come on, Ornlus. What the heck? Wait, what, that one didn't die either? Whatever. Anyway, if we build the proper buildings, we can advance to the Castle Age right away, but then we don't have any more resources, so we're going to abstain from that for the time being. Just need a few more buildings, so we're not instantly housed. Alrighty, destroyed the tower, and now there is a gate that we need to destroy. Anyway, you don't need to defeat the engineers to win, but, I mean, they don't really do a whole lot. Let's just get that. Since we have nothing better to do. Let's see if I can do this with an attack round. It doesn't damage my ram, perfect. In case you guys don't know, you can attack round with a mangonel, or bombard cannon, I guess, to specifically avoid dealing splash damage to your own units. This is useful for these sorts of situations. There's some wood in the north you can take, but you can see when I built the TC right here, we have a ton of forage bushes. And that'll help start our food economy. Otherwise, we only had their farms, 2 sheep, and 2 boar. Awesome. Now we'll bring out our military. Now, we are in Mongolia right now. What these Chinese engineers are doing over here, not really too sure. I guess this is supposed to be Manchuria? I don't know. Quick history lesson, since this is, you know, Asian campaign, East Asian history scenario. It's what I do. So, the Mongols were not the first, or the last, nomadic peoples to invade China. So, in the northeastern part of China, there is a place called Manchuria, which is part of China today. But there were a lot of different peoples that ruled there that were, if they weren't completely nomadic, they were usually semi-nomadic, semi-sinicized, as you might say. And they eventually became more and more and more Chinese, like, quote-unquote, until eventually the Qing just took over China in 1644. Well, at least they finished that in 1644. But at this point in history, the Jin is actually not ethnically Han Chinese, they're Jurchens, who is actually a civ that I would love to, instead of, you know, another, like, maybe, instead of either Cumans or Tartars, because they kind of represent the same thing. I think it would have been nice to include the Jurchens, because they were a distinct people from both Chinese and Koreans, because Korea's like over this way. But yeah, Jin and Song were the 2 main Chinese dynasties. Song were like the culturally advanced, you can say, if that doesn't sound too elitist. Hold on a second. Oh, houses. We're fine. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Northeast China. So yeah, you had the Jurchens, who were also known before then as the Khitans, or the Karakitai. They're sort of related, but not completely. That we dealt with in the last couple scenarios. Anyway, we'll click up in just a second. But those, it's essentially, like I said, a sort of semi-nomadic venturing further from nomadness the further you get into history. But they had their own dynasties and cultures and stuff. And they were definitely, by the time Qin came around, they were definitely pretty Sinicized. Now, Song was like the very, very, like, Han Chinese ruled Confucian state, but they were never that strong militarily because they wanted to be all artistic and stuff. And they did have a lot of really important cultural, like, and technological advancements, but they sucked at fighting so much that they couldn't really solidify their power in northern China, which is why we have, you know, different factions. Then you have the Xixia and Tunguts, who are actually the same people. I think, if I recall correctly, the Xixia were a Tangut people. I might be misremembering that. It might be the other way around. Anyway, they are, again, not ethnically Chinese. And I believe they were Muslim? I don't think so. I don't think they ever made it that far north. I don't know. I don't know everything. Alas. Anyway, long story short, is just like what we're doing in this scenario, the Mongols came in and kicked everybody's butts. And that also included Korea, which is not in the scenario, as they were not in the game in Age of Kings. So, yeah. Well, the thing with Korea is that it was never... I guess it was formerly ruled by the Mongols for, like, 70 years or something, but they never really had much of an impact in Korea because they didn't really care about it. Again, I study Korea, so that's why I know more about it. And Korea was able to revert to autonomous rule pretty quickly. And Korea was never very happy about the Mongols as their overlords, as one might expect. But in China, they went on to, after Genghis Khan, establish the Yuan dynasty, of whom Kublai Khan was the most famous, with the Marco Polo and all that. But then they fell apart in around 100 years or so. Maybe, yeah, around 100 years-ish. And we have lots of stone, actually. And we have a pretty big pop limit. So, actually, we also have a lot of gold, so we're just gonna go get a TC. And as soon as we finish these forage bushes, we're gonna get another TC. Oh, damn it, I lost him. You can take him, boys. Maybe target the crossbowman? Definitely don't want you guys to destroy that. Capture I'm finishing at a rather inopportune time. Wow, they took down that TC fast. Well, that's rather annoying. I mean, it's not like we're completely screwed or anything. We have another TC coming up right there. And let's get that TC back up and running. Perfect. Send these guys over this way. You can see that there's just way more resources in Mongolia than there are in... I guess this is supposed to be part of Manchuria. It's kind of unclear. The geographical representation is very likely inaccurate, or I am just completely misunderstanding how they represented things on the map in-game here. But that's fine. I would rather the game, this scenario, be interesting to play than be completely historically accurate. I mean, I think as a historical campaign, it shouldn't just be completely divergent from history, but, you know, when in doubt, make the game good. Get another TC. I mean, why not go for 4 TCs? Honestly, I have way too many on gold, but whatever. Oh yeah, there's also an achievement in this scenario for defeating Qin before they start the Wonder. I'm sure there's a guide to do that out there, but I don't really feel like trying to speedrun this. It's actually one of the harder achievements to get. But you can do it. I guess I can just tell you how. So pretty much a similar setup here, except I only went for 2 town centers. And then I tried to get up to Imperial Age pretty quickly. I got these bombard cannons that are over here. I'll get those, you know, eventually as well. Then you just transport everyone over, and then you just do everything you can to block them. And I think they start their Wonder around 42 minutes, I want to say, if I recall correctly. But yeah, if you're looking to get the achievement, I'm sure there are other videos out there. Maybe T West has one, I don't know. Maybe someone else does. But yeah, I mean, Genghis Khan's expansion killed more people, I think, than anything historically that had happened before. Most of which were in China here. But it also was incredibly important in terms of helping connect the world a little bit. Mongols were actually pretty tolerant religiously, and were happy to just move people around wherever they were needed, because Mongols weren't really ones for being bureaucrats. And they didn't completely annihilate most people, because you need someone left to tribute you and serve you. But yeah, obviously there was all of the incredibly violent stuff that they did. And some astronomical percentage of people today, I think men specifically, are descended from Genghis Khan. Just because of, you know, all the women he raped. On that happy note, we're getting our economy going. And seems like the attacks are largely stalled. But in this scenario, we're going to get to be able to go to Imperial Age and flex the full might of the Mangudai. I mean, our army is going to be almost entirely Mangudai, plus some siege. But yeah, so Jin's going to be building a wonder. They're on an island over here, or across some body of water. Like I said, it's kind of unclear what that's supposed to be geographically. I mean, they're supposed to be in Manchuria, but it doesn't look like it. Get those. Don't want to go too ham on the villager count. So, props limit's 150. Should probably stop now. Ah. Well, I don't have a castle right here. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, Tanguts are just on the other side of the Great Wall. But they don't have a castle, so they're not that hard to take out once you can break them, but obviously early on here they're being pretty annoying. But thankfully the siege rams are bugging out pretty hard, otherwise I might actually have lost this town center. But sometimes you get lucky in life. There's Shishia advancing to Imp. Or as I called them when I was a kid, Hissia. What with Romanization being rather complicated and all. I mean, this will likely not be an especially great fight, but hopefully it'll be enough. Go, go, bonus damage. I love me some Mangudai. Favorite unit in the game. Well, here goes this TC. Lost 2 TCs so far to these frickin' rams. Are they attacking my villagers? Jerks. But yeah, soon we are going to need to get some docks up and running. Over here seems fine. Also, lest I forget, to get some siege workshops going, because to defeat Jin, and forestall their wonder victory, we're gonna need the help of some bombard cannons that are gonna benefit from drill. And it's going to be awesome, because Mongols don't get bombard cannons, but we're going to steal them from the Chinese engineers. But to get to them, we have to get on the other side of the Great Wall. So that's where the rams come in. Also, fun AoE2 fact, Mongols are the only civ in the game to not have either of two-man saw or crop rotation. Except technically Celts, but Celts have, with the faster working lumberjacks, like, they have one up on two-man saw, essentially, so they don't count in my books. Get another castle up over here. Hello, Shisha. Still missing some upgrades. As are we, but I think we're fine. There we go. Oh yeah, need to get careening and a few transport ships. Anyway, this should be enough. Get elite. Also grab siege engineers and siege ram. And then we're just going to run in with a couple Mangudai, get the bombard cannons, bust through another section of the Great Wall. And then be on our merry way. Anyway, this is the one gate in the Great Wall. God damn it. This is annoying. This did not factor into my plans. Kind of hard to tell what's going on. Anyway, we have plenty of stone to mine, so we can get lots of castles. Okay, perfect. Little bit less comfortable than we would have liked. There's the wonder. So 41:35. So I said around 42 minutes. So that's your timestamp if you're looking to get the achievement. Actually, it's not specific because what they're going to do is they have like 9 blacksmiths right here, and they're going to delete all of them. And that's when you know they're about to build the wonder. I think they have those 9 blacksmiths there so that they don't accidentally... Like, the AI doesn't accidentally just, like, build over where they're supposed to build the wonder. If I had to guess. Oh, fully upgraded Elite Mangudai. My dearest love. Anywho. Why don't they have drill? They also don't... What? Normally, in Age of Kings, Conquerors, HD, they benefit from drill and siege engineers. I don't remember them not. I thought they did on DE as well. That's a bummer. What? No, 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 God damn it. Frickin' arrow slits, man. And uphill. What? Wait, now they benefit from drill and siege engineers? What? Where is the consistency in that? Whatever. Anyway, now I'll just punch a hole through. Turns out Elite Mangudai plus Siege Ram plus maybe a few trebuchets and these bombard cannons is going to beat literally everything they can throw at us. I'm just confused as to how they didn't have the benefits from drill and siege engineers. Now they do, because look at them zoom around now. And they have 12+1 range. Alrighty. Word of caution, the wonder will come up fairly quickly. They send a lot of their villagers to go build it. Anywho, we'll just take what we have. Hopefully it's enough to fit on these transports. Gonna get a couple trebuchets. This is to start our simultaneous attack on the land. Also, I don't need... I think I have all my upgrades. I don't need farmers anymore. Certainly not 40. But we are going to run low on gold soon. So Qin is going to have some Chukonu and Cavaliers and Monks. It's going to be their army comp. Fortunately, Mongols do not get dry dock. An obvious historical nod to not having the best transports due to their double failed invasions of Japan due to storms wrecking the fleet. That's where the word kamikaze comes from in Japanese, meaning divine wind, which saved their asses against the Mongols. Because it's not like the Mongols didn't know how to use ships. They did conquer as far south as Indonesia, as we'll get to when we get to Gajah Mada. Didn't hold there for very long, but they did get there.
What do a people who sleep in tents know of the word culture?
Sick burn, bro. And the answer is not a whole lot. One of the reasons it is thought that the Mongol Empire did not last long is, one, due to infighting, which, you know, that happens to every empire at some point. However, I think it even further just completely disappeared due to the Mongols never really were super ardent in their cultural, you know, values, and they just kind of blended into all the places they conquered, like, slowly over time. Not to say that Mongols didn't have any culture whatsoever, but I know their religion, some form of Tengrism, was locked to, like, you know, some sort of worship of the land they came from, i.e. Mongolia. So it's not like they really held to that, you know, generations later. But yeah, pretty much, Ogatai Khan actually held the empire at its largest territorial extent, but after his death, everything kind of fell apart. Then the empire essentially split into 4, with the Yuan dynasty in China, the what was it? Chagatai Khanate, the Il Khanate, both in Central Asia, and the Golden Horde in Russia. Those last 3 I mentioned all feature in Tamerlane, and Ivelo, and Kotian. All of the new ones obviously feature the Mongols to some capacity. Hey! Don't be a jerk! Oh yeah, I forgot to actually invade China. Remember when the Mongol invasion of China didn't happen because Genghis Khan just forgot to send in his troops? Anyway, that lovely lightning strike sound means we have taken down the Wonder. Hooray. So yeah. Do it 12 minutes faster than I did right there and you get the achievement. The thing is, I remember as far as when I was trying to go for the achievement, you need to defeat Jin before they start the Wonder. I'm not sure if it's fixed now, but there was a bug that you also needed to defeat them before they even try and start the Wonder. So that's where Sniping Villagers becomes very important if you're trying to go for the achievement. Just some advice. Like, one, prevent them, obviously, from starting the wonder, and two, just snipe all of their stray villagers. Can't build a wonder without villagers. So even if you haven't taken down all the buildings yet, like I'm doing right here, because they have a lot of random towers and stuff. Anyway, generally patrolling in the direction of our enemies. The Tonguts are going to be over here. They will not pose much of a threat at this point, despite them destroying 2 of my town centers earlier. Yeah, now we got Mangudai, siege rams with drill, frickin' Mongol bombard cannons. Ah. How's it going, boys? Where are my trebuchets? There's one. I think the other one died. Oh, nope, here it is. Thriving on 15 HP. Also me losing a bunch of units for free, but that's to be expected. Oh yeah, Jin also has a small navy, so be careful when transporting. How's the destruction of the Tonguts going? It's going alright. Yeah, the 150 pop limit in this scenario definitely adds to the epic feeling, quote-unquote. Just like taking on all of China. Onward and upward. Actually, you guys come over here and build another castle. Come on, Jin. Jin. I don't speak Chinese. There we go. No, unfortunately I had to ferry everyone back over, but whatever. A mild inconvenience. Anyway, onward to Xixia. I always like the little sort of rice paddy vibe this little area got. Oh, yeah, also there's like this forest here in between the Tonguts and Xixia, which is kind of annoying to go around, actually. Eventually they'll chop through it, but too fast. Just blazing through the scenario too quickly. Not really. I'm going pretty slowly, all things considered, because I like having big post-imp armies of Mangudai and siege ram. Oh boy, pathing. Yeah, be careful of Xixia's onagers. I didn't hotkey these guys. That could have been a bad thing. They do have... Wait, they don't have elite. Other than that, they have full upgrades. Yeah, this isn't actually enough. And this entire experience is happening because the siege rams are taking way too damn long to get over. Whatever. I have a lot of resources. What? Move! Oh my god. And I told the trebuchets to attack this town center ages ago, man. Anyway, we'll also prepare for our final assault onto Song. No, attack the castle! Whoa, those guys are glitching out. And we can see that Song hasn't even gotten to Imp yet. Also, Tonguts might have rebuilt somewhere over here. They sometimes do that. Anyway, Xixia is mostly defeated. Bloop. Bloop. Let's see if Castle Age Chinese can stand up to post-Imp Mongols. My bets are on... no. Also, I literally never brought these guys back over. Land him over here, or something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Send in the reinforcements. You have been there since the beginning of the game. You guys are being useless. You guys can come join the party. Over this way. Are you kidding me? A sea tower. Oh my god. That wasn't there in AOC. God, be kidding me, man. Frickin' sea tower. With heated shot, obviously. That's how the transport died so quickly. Do your thing, siege rams. Oh hey, those are some scorpions from the Tonguts. Wait, you are useless. Oh my god. DE pathing, why? Oh, here's a Tonguts TC that is not normally there. But yeah, Sung doesn't have a castle either. Nonetheless, they will all die eventually, just like us all. Just leaves you guys, Song. There we go. A little faster than the 5 hours it took me as a kid, But you can easily do this scenario in like 40-45 minutes if you're actually trying to speedrun it. But, you know, we pretty much got the entire map covered. You can see that Jin is indeed on an island. Oh yeah, volume. See guys, I'm learning. Slowly.
It was a glorious slaughter. For years, visitors to China will be astounded by the mountain of human and horse skeletons that we have erected. Genghis's horde has gained one huge advantage by this invasion of China: technology. We now possess the knowledge and equipment to allow us to make siege weapons. We will crack open the Persian and European castles to reach the softer parts within. Genghis is pleased with our progress and with the legacy he leaves behind. His mother once ate wild onions and rodents to keep from starving. But the children and grandchildren of Genghis will eat off plates of Persian gold.
That they will. Oh yeah, KD's still bugged. that's a lot of buildings destroyed though. I guess these guys tributed all their resources to these guys? Or they do tribute them regularly, I guess. Anyway, that was into China. Next we will be going west to Persia. See you guys then.